Okay, in this video we're going to talk about why camera confidence is important. Now, you might think, where the hell am I? I'm actually at an amphitheater where your voice needs to be heard. You've got nature around you and people behind would need to be able to hear my voice. There is also a train line relatively close, so if people at the back were listening to me and I sat here and spoke like this, nobody would hear me. So obviously the importance here is getting your voice heard, getting your tone right, having your confidence right, so that you can command an audience, just like if I sat here with 300 people around me, ready to entertain them or share my wisdom. So in this video, we are going over preparation, which is your power for moving forward, body language mastery and why that's so important, voice control techniques so that you can actually command attention just by using your voice, mindset shifts that are easy for you to then see how you can be a leader on camera, and also develop through deliberate practice. This means going out and actually forcing yourself to be more confident. So I'm going to try and make this video as short as possible, and part of the reason why I'm here is obviously to try and show this off in a real scenario. Right now I haven't got an audience in front of me, I've just got you, but the important thing is this will benefit you, not everyone else. So let's go over the start of it. Now, preparation is key here, right? Now, when we are talking about scripting, a lot of people think, right, if I go in with a script and I've got everything written in front of me, I know exactly what to say. And then what people typically do is they'll stand there and they'll go, and they're trying to say line for line, right? And they'll go, protein is so important because it repairs your muscles. And you're like, wow, you've just lost all your personality, but you said the line perfectly. So with scripting, I always think the key thing here is to get scripts written so you know what you're saying, and they're a guide. They're not the perfect line. They're not, I have to say this word for word, because people buy from people. So if you feel confident in what you're saying and you know what you're going to say, so if I said, this is an iPhone and it's the best phone on the market, I didn't have to have a script for that, but I knew what I was holding on to, what I was talking about, and I made it clear, right? So when you're scripting, it is about knowing what you're going to say in the order you need to say it in, and then realistically saying whatever words come out of your mouth. Now, if you get some of it wrong, the script is there to pull it back and get clear on what you should have been saying. Because if you do say the wrong thing and the video doesn't work, well, you know that the words were the issue, right? Now, obviously, practice before you actually go and do the filming is also massive. If you've got 20 scripts written in front of you and you know exactly what you want to say and you practice them, your brain's already got some memory of you talking about what you wanted to share. So the reality is that if you know what you're saying and you've practiced it, you're going to feel more confident when it comes to filming it. So if you go through and do this, this is one of the easiest methods to do this, right? If you've got Loom, if you haven't, get it. Record yourself, put the scripts on the screen and record yourself. You can do each individual video, you can see how long it takes you to record it. If there's any things that you don't like saying, or let's say you start reading a word and you're like, I would never say that, you can tweak it in your scripts to make sure it makes sense, but then you can practice. And you can practice delivering it. And part of the delivery of what we'll go on to later is how you say the words. It's not necessarily what you say, it's how you say them. If I said to you, you look really pretty today, whereas if I went, wow, you look incredible, different words, different meaning, but the power of that delivery was massive. And how you deliver the lines is so important. So that's what you really want to focus on when you're delivering content. And then obviously create a comfortable filming environment. Now, I'm outside, admittedly it's freezing out here, right? But if you've got an environment where you feel good, so if you're in a gym that's crowded with loads of people and the music booming, are you going to be in your best? Or if you're a mechanic and you're used to being on the tools and you can open up early and film it before anyone else gets there, is that better for you? So the whole point is to create an environment where you can film content at your best. The whole point is like, if you're going to deliver this thing and you want it to really resonate and work, if you're feeling your best, it's going to work. It's almost like your body in nutrition and fitness. If you're in a good shape, good size, good health, you're going to perform much better because you feel better. So that environment is everything. How you dress, how you show up, what you've got around you is so vital, because that is what's going to help you perform better. And like I said, I've got nothing around me here, it's freezing, but it doesn't stop me because I'm in a place now where I can talk and I can command. I could clip this onto me and I could pretend everyone was here, and I'm actually going to give advice to you guys and not worry so much about what I say. But because it'll be more natural and it will flow better, it will come across well. The next point is body language, which is perfect from obviously what we were just talking about here, right? If I stand on this stage, nice and together like this, and I deliver everything and I don't move, and my arms are very stiff, or like I'm twiddling my thumbs here, and I start going, your confidence is everything. If you're not confident, people won't believe in you. You would never sign up to me in a million years because I do not look confident. So body language is the bit that shows that you are confident in what you're talking about. Your message, your story, your past, what you do, your products, everything you do. So for me, I can sit here and move around and I can look around and share my message with people because that shows I'm comfortable. I don't worry about how I look. I'm worried about, am I impacting these people? And it's always a clear focus on, and you can see it quite clearly with people that I work with. Those that want to impact lives, they're not so worried about how they look and sound. Of course, they want it to be the best they can, but they're not so worried about it. They realise the message is important, showing up regularly is important, and delivering it with confidence is more important than everything being perfect, right? Or being worried about what everyone thinks. Okay, and I've literally got these notes here because like I need to go through them and make sure I deliver on everything, and I want to give you the most amount of value, right? Now, using hand gestures, if I wanted to say to you, I went from feeling down here to feeling on top of the world. If you can only see the text on the screen, but you can see my hand movements, you're going to get more of an idea of what I'm talking about. Whereas if I keep my hand still and I'm like, when I lost the weight, I felt brilliant. And I've never looked back on the investment I made on myself to do that. You're not really going to believe it. You're not going to be like, wow, they look like they're so much more confident. Whereas if I'm like, when I started this journey, I honestly felt so low. But through the hard work, the dedication, the hours that I put in, the change in my mindset from looking at the negatives to looking at the positives, honestly, my business is up here, my life's up here, my body feels incredible. You can see the difference, it feels different. So this is why body language, hand gestures, and all of the way that you portray yourself is so important, because that's what gives the security into the viewer's eyes and their body that you're someone that feels comfortable in yourself and you're trustworthy. Okay, and obviously eye contact is massive. If I'm looking at you here and I'm talking to you, you feel like I'm actually connecting with you. Whereas if I'm like over here and I'm like, and the importance of getting eye contact is that you really feel safe, you're not going to feel that connection. You're not going to feel like I'm actually directly talking to you. So this is where knowing what you're talking about and practicing it and going over and over again and being able to get that locked in focus to say, hey, I know this message is super important and I want to share it with you, because if I don't, the issue is here is you're never going to grow and evolve. So make sure whatever you do, you get eye contact with that person and you give them the message that they need to hear to change their life. You see how much more impactful that was? So hopefully that's given you a lot on body language. Now, voice control techniques. This is where, if you're talking about something that really impacted you, you're not going to say, and then I got hit by a car and it was the best moment, it was the worst moment of my life. You're like, hey, why did you deliver that with so much power? It doesn't make sense. If I went, and then I got hit by a car, and honestly, I thought I wasn't going to survive. You can hear the tone in my voice. You can hear the, wow, I thought I'd lost everything. Using your voice is like an instrument. It's like playing a guitar or, I don't know, whatever musical instrument you want to play, right? That's yours to play with. You can slow things right down to say, hey, I know how important this is for you to be more confident on camera. But just think about how good it will feel when you can do this on repeat every single day and not give a damn of what anyone thinks. How amazing will that be? You see the difference of me using my tone, using melody to be able to like say the words that I want to say and give you the feeling of those words. If I said to you, I really believe in you, you'd feel that. Whereas if I went, I believe in you, you don't feel it. So using pace, using tone, using melody, and actually expressing the meaning behind those words is what builds that connection with someone. It allows them to see, actually, you know what you're talking about and you get it. Because if you haven't experienced it, it's like me saying, oh, I can tell you what childbirth's like. I've witnessed my wife doing it. I can't tell you how hard it is to push a baby out. I watched her go through pain. I could say it didn't look comfortable, right? But I couldn't sit there and go, pushing a baby out is the hardest thing I've ever done. Because you'd look at me and go, hey, how did you do that, right? And so this is where I'm saying, like, if you're trying to connect with your audience and you're trying to give a good message across, if you've got that tone in your voice that you get it, You get how difficult it is when you're overweight, you're unhappy, you're slow, you feel lethargic, you're not attractive, you haven't got any purpose around you. It feels demoralizing. But when that switch gets flicked, and when you start building that potential in yourself and you start showing up for yourself every day, for your self-worth and your confidence and your energy to go through the roof because you showed up for you, you did the hard work, you did the gym sessions, you ate the food, you got your steps in. Every single day you focus on getting 1% better, you change your life forever. And that's the power of using your voice to be able to get people to connect with you and truly feel the meaning of what you're trying to say. Now, mindset shifts, this is a big one, right? So many people, when they go to make content, they're not thinking about who they are and how they identify. This is going to feel a little bit deep, right? And I'm going to come in a little bit closer to this, right? Because I think this bit's important for you to realize, okay? If I identify in this moment as a bricklayer, yeah, I'm a fitness coach who's trying to help people lose weight, but I'm still thinking I'm a bricklayer, right? I'm not going to be turning up to the content with that same direction. Like, I'm the person that's going to help you change your life. I'm thinking I lay bricks and build houses, right? If you're turning up with the weight of the world on your shoulders, like your ex took your confidence, or like you were overweight because you never really had anything and you still think you're your overweight kid, yet even though you've lost 30 kilos and you look in the best shape of your life, which what I went through. If I still show up with that negative past, if I still show up with that negative energy, you're going to feel it. So one of the biggest mindset shifts that you can do is think, I'm now an authority. I'm a leader in what I do. And in this video, I'm going to help the people that are in the same place that I was in. Not the people at the top, not the people that are going to judge me because they're competitors, but the people that I know I can help. So if I was going back to my photography roots and thinking, right, I went from 0 to $250,000 with my photography just by myself. Now, do I want to work with the top ranking photographers and challenge them? Well, no, because they're not my market. They've already got their business and everything sorted. So comparing myself or worrying what they think would just be a massive waste of my time. But if I think about the 500 photographers that follow my page that would love to have the 30k months that I had, or love to have the studio I've got, or use the equipment I've got, they're all looking up to me going, tell me the thing I need to hear to get to your level. So let me think and position myself as, I'm going to change your life by giving you exactly what you need to hear at the stage you're at. How much different does that feel for me to be able to deliver that compared to me thinking I'm a photographer who's not done this or struggling and holding on to my past, right? Mindset is massive and we all know that, and I'm not going to go into a massive spiel. I've got like tons of personal development work in my website. If you do sign up, it will literally run you through walls with getting the results that you want for yourself. But the main thing with the mindset shift is, who are you helping? Why is it important that you share that message? What was the pain points that you went through to get to the place where you're at now that they need to hear? And if you put yourself in that position, when you go to make content, you're gonna be more confident. You're gonna feel the energy. You're gonna be like, hey, you don't need a new camera. You need the skills to talk to a person to get them to look the way you want them to look, so you can take the photo that makes your photography look incredible and gets you more clients. Don't worry about the camera, don't worry about the lens, worry about getting that person to perform on the camera that you need to get the results that you need to get. That is my best bit of advice for photographers, and yet most of them will go, yeah, but if I spend this money on a camera that's got more colours and more this, I've been using the same camera for 7 years and I can out-earn you every day of the week. It's not about the equipment, it's about how you use it and about the people that you work with and how you communicate with them. And this is what I'm saying, if you're identifying as someone who's a leader and you can communicate with those people and be an authority, content production and creation is so much easier, okay? So I went into one there because obviously for me, I've helped people with mindset for most of my life. And the whole point is they've always identified as someone that wasn't good enough, held themselves back for all of this stuff. And when you come to stand on camera, you look like a lemon because you just don't show any confidence. And then the last bit, I want to really lean into is like developing through deliberate practice, right? So I'm stood out here, I've got a sales call in 5 minutes that I need to rush off for, right? Now, if I wasn't turning up as the best version of myself, if I wasn't practicing this every day, I'd never have the confidence to do this stuff. I wouldn't be able to stand here and do a whole, however long this video is currently, video in one take, right? Yeah, I've got notes in front of me and I haven't gone backwards and forwards, but I've delivered it in one take, right? This is by constantly turning up for yourself and making that content work for you. So if you do struggle with this and you're like trying to get your confidence out there and you're trying to build that and like actually become an authority, the only way you're going to do it is by stacking up loads and loads and loads of proof that you are improving. Not that you weren't good enough, that you'll challenge yourself to be better every day. Because people like a story, people like a vision, and people like to see where you're going, and they will follow along because they buy from people. So if they see you putting content out, talking on camera, talking to your phone, whatever it is, they're going to grow with confidence because they're seeing you taking action and doing what you do. So don't be worried about how everyone else looks, because they're already in their different place, right? They're already there. And if you compare yourself to others, one of the best questions you can ask yourself is, what do I need to hear from that person that I compare myself to give me the permission to move forward? And most of the time you will ask them, am I good enough? And they'll say, yeah, I was terrible at this for years. And you've got everything you need, you just need to go and do it. And you'll go, thank you, I needed to hear that, and then off you go. The whole point of this is don't compare yourself to others, stay in your lane, think about what you're doing and what you're brilliant at, and share that message and create your own identity and become the confident version of yourself that you know you can be. And then talking on camera becomes so easy. So I hope you got loads of value from this video. It's a little bit longer, but there's tons packed into here that's going to help you be more confident on camera.